I stood in front of the bathroom mirror, adjusting my tie for the third time, the reflection staring back at me filled with a mix of excitement and dread. Tonight was the annual Grayson Enterprises Gala, a night where business mingled with high society, and where, for a fleeting moment, Rachel and I could pretend that everything was perfect. I took a deep breath, trying to shake off the nagging feeling in the pit of my stomach. "Stop it," I muttered to myself, forcing a smile. Rachel would be waiting. The ride to the venue was filled with the sound of the city horns blaring, people chatting, the rhythm of life pulsating through the streets. I looked over at Rachel, her face illuminated by the streetlights, a vision in her sleek, red dress that hugged her figure perfectly. She caught me staring and smiled, but there was something behind her eyes that felt out of reach, like a whisper I couldn't quite hear. "Ethan, are you okay?" she asked, her voice laced with concern. "You seem a bit distant." I shook my head, dismissing my thoughts. "Just tired after a long week at the site. You know how it is." "Yeah, I do." She leaned back in her seat, her expression softening. "But tonight is about celebrating. Can't wait to see everyone." I nodded, but in the back of my mind, I couldn't shake the feeling that this night was different. We arrived at the grandiose hotel, its opulence overwhelming. As we stepped out, I could feel the buzz of the crowd, laughter, and clinking glasses mixing with the soft strains of a jazz band. "Ready?" Rachel asked, her hands slipping into mine. "Always," I replied, though I wasn't sure if that was true. Inside, the atmosphere was electric. I spotted Victor Grayson, the man who ran the empire Rachel had dedicated her life to. He stood tall, exuding confidence, his presence commanding the room. I watched as he floated from group to group, collecting compliments like trophies. "Ethan!" Victor called, his voice booming over the chatter. "Glad you could make it." "Wouldn't miss it for the world, Victor," I said, forcing a smile. "You know how it is." His eyes flickered to Rachel, and for a brief moment, I felt an unsettling tension, like an invisible thread connecting the two of them. "Ah, Rachel. You look stunning tonight." He leaned in closer, his voice dropping to a conspiratorial tone. "I'd love to steal you away for a moment later." "Of course," Rachel replied, her tone light, but she glanced at me, her eyes searching for something. As the night wore on, I tried to enjoy myself, mingling with colleagues, but the laughter felt hollow. I couldn't shake the feeling that something was off. Rachel kept disappearing into Victor's orbit, and each time she did, a knot tightened in my stomach. "Ethan! Come dance!" Rachel called, pulling me from my thoughts. I smiled, joining her on the dance floor, where the world seemed to melt away. "See? This isn't so bad," she laughed, her head thrown back, the sound bright and infectious. "Yeah, you're right," I said, spinning her around. But as I looked into her eyes, I could see the flicker of something else, something I couldn't quite place. The music slowed, and I pulled her close. "What's really going on, Rach? You seem distracted. Is it work?" She sighed, her breath warm against my neck. "It's just. Victor has been really ambitious lately. There's pressure to perform, you know?" "Yeah, but you always rise to the occasion. You're incredible at what you do." I wanted to believe my words, to hold on to the illusion of our perfect life. "Thanks, Ethan," she murmured. "I just sometimes I wonder if it's all worth it." Before I could respond, Victor's voice cut through the moment. "Rachel, darling. I need you for a moment." She looked at me, hesitation flickering in her gaze. "I'll be right back, okay?" "Sure," I said, forcing a smile. But as she walked away, I couldn't shake the feeling that I was losing her bit by bit, slipping through my fingers like sand. The night dragged on, my mind racing as I tried to mingle, yet I couldn't help but keep an eye on Rachel. The way Victor leaned in close, the way she laughed at his jokes, it all felt wrong. I grabbed a drink, the whiskey burning down my throat, hoping it would numb the gnawing anxiety. Hours later, I found myself in a quiet corner, watching as Rachel spoke with Victor, their laughter echoing in the space between us. I could feel the tension building, an invisible wall growing thicker with each passing moment. Then Victor's gaze met mine, a smirk playing on his lips. "Ethan, can we talk?" "Sure," I replied, my heart racing. I followed him to a secluded area, my mind racing with possibilities. Victor leaned against the wall, crossing his arms. "You know, Ethan, I admire your loyalty to Rachel." "It's commendable, really." "Thanks," I replied, unsure of where this conversation was heading. "But loyalty can blind you," he continued, his voice low and smooth. "You might want to open your eyes, my friend." "What are you talking about?" I asked, an edge creeping into my voice. He chuckled, a dark, unsettling sound. "Rachel and I have been close." The words hit me like a punch to the gut. "What do you mean?" I forced out, my heart racing. "Let's just say, she's been making some choices that would surprise you," he said, his eyes gleaming with satisfaction. "She's ambitious, after all." I shook my head, denial flooding my mind. "You're lying." "Am I?" "You should ask her." I'm sure she'd be happy to explain. I felt the world tilt beneath me. I stumbled back, trying to process his words. "You're lying," I repeated, but the conviction was fading. Victor stepped closer, his voice low. "You have no idea what she's willing to sacrifice for success, Ethan. It's a cutthroat world out there." I turned, my heart pounding. I had to confront Rachel. I had to know the truth. The gala felt like a blur as I searched for her, the laughter and music fading into the background. I finally found her by the bar, her laughter mingling with Victor's. I approached, my stomach churning. "Rachel," I said, my voice firm yet shaky. She turned, surprise flashing across her face. "Ethan! I didn't see you there. Can we talk? Alone?" I insisted, my heart racing. "Of course." She replied, her smile faltering as she glanced at Victor. "Don't take too long, sweetheart," Victor said with a wink, and I felt my blood boil. We moved to a quieter corner, and I could barely hold myself together. "What's going on, Rachel?" "What do you mean?" she asked, confusion etched on her face. "Victor just told me that you've been close with him." "Is it true?" Her expression shifted, and for a moment, I saw something cold in her eyes. "Ethan, it's complicated." "Complicated?" I echoed, disbelief washing over me. "You're having an affair with him." "Ethan, please." "It's not what you think." I had to do what I did to protect my career. I felt like I'd been slapped. "Protect your career? By sleeping with him? Is that really the choice you made?" She sighed, frustration bubbling to the surface. "You don't understand the pressure I'm under. This is a ruthless industry, and I needed to make sure I stayed ahead." "Ahead of what? Your marriage? Your integrity?" I felt rage boiling within me, the betrayal cutting deeper than I thought possible. "It's not that black and white. I love you, Ethan, but I have dreams. Victor has connections, and I needed to leverage them. It was a mistake, but I didn't know how else to survive." "Survive?" I scoffed, the hurt twisting in my chest. "You've sacrificed everything for a job? For him?" "I didn't want to hurt you," she pleaded, her voice breaking. "I thought I could manage it all, but I got caught up. I'm sorry, Ethan. I really am." "Sorry doesn't cut it, Rachel." My voice was steady, but inside, I was shattered. "You've made your choice." She reached for me, desperation in her eyes. "Please don't do this. We can work through it." "I don't think we can," I said, stepping back. "I can't be with someone who prioritizes ambition over loyalty." I turned to walk away, her voice trembling behind me. "Ethan, please." But I didn't look back. I couldn't. The rest of the night passed in a haze of anger and disbelief. I left the gala, the laughter and music echoing behind me like a ghost. My heart felt heavy, each beat a reminder of the trust that had shattered. I needed to clear my head, to figure out what to do next. The next day, I found myself standing at the construction site, the sound of machinery and hammers clanging around me. It was supposed to be my refuge, a place where I could escape the noise of betrayal. But the truth nodded me a relentless reminder of Rachel's choices.